Oh, I got stuff stuck in my throat. That was hard. Did 8 by essentially 45-second really steep hill repeats. These are about 20% grade. I'm at the base of Adams Ridge, which has been kind of highlighted in my last few videos, but it's kind of up there. Anyways, I'm now cooling down after my 8, and before I forget, I'm wearing red in honor of Native women running, who are doing a wonderful job getting Native American women running more throughout the United States. So they have a big push today to run for Native women and wear red in support. So that's why I'm donning red. Secondly, I'm in red shoes today. I've got the Salomon S-Lab Sense 7. These used to be my preferred shoe. This is last year's model. The 8s are out now, but these are perfect for what I'm doing today. Short, fast, hard ground, and just works really, really well. Not a ton of tread on them. I think it's about a 3 mil tread lug height. But again, like I said, these used to be my go-to shoe for all day, and they've kind of cut down the profile, and more specifically, they cut down on the softness of the midsole. So these are kind of harsh ride, and they took out the really thin insert, which makes them feel a little different as well. So these have now become kind of short and fast interval style shoes, and now that things are starting to dry out, I can use them with good traction. So that's what I'm wearing today. But like I said, I'm out working on my force, working on my speed on hills. And so what we're going to talk about today is how to get faster on hills. And there's 2 ways to get speed across the board, whether it's flat, uphill, downhill, and that's through your cadence and through your distance per stride. And so if you're plateauing with your hill running and want to get faster, or you just want to get faster in general, here's kind of the sequence, and why I'm doing it today is that we've got to remember that for us to get faster, especially working against an uphill incline, to be able to improve our distance per stride is very difficult because we're working against gravity and the incline. So we can't just rely on steady, long uphill running. We need to introduce very, very fast, short intervals to really train our force production into the ground, which ultimately dictates our distance per stride. So we want to improve our ability, improve our strength, improve our force production and our get off to improve our distance per stride when we're running uphill. So today I picked a very, very steep section, and what I did this for a very, very key point, is that I wanted it really steep. So I am forced to have to run really, really fast. It's almost impossible at 20% plus to run slow. It's either a run or a hike. And I wanted to force myself to run really, really hard to improve my force production. And so what I did, instead of running for a specific amount of time, I ran at about 95% of maximum capacity for as long as I could, until my legs really started to fill up and I would feel like I would be straining rather than training and have diminishing returns. So I stopped at that point. And this equated to about 40 to 45 seconds. And that's another key point, is when we're doing something like this, these need to be short and fast, under or at a minute in length. Anything longer, it becomes a little bit more of a strength endurance workout, which is fine, but that's not the purpose of today. That's something that I would do later in the week, and we'll get to that in a minute. But again, today's purpose, keeping it under a minute, very fast, almost as fast as you can go, training your force production. So ultimately you're training your ability to propel yourself forward with greater length within your gait, and that's where you're going to get better on the hills. And it's going to obviously help speed across the board. That's what's so great about hills. And you can apply this principle. We've talked about it before. The same principle can be, you know, applied on flats for just getting general faster in your speed. And if, you know, that's a good point, is if you were targeting a marathon this spring and it got canceled because of COVID, you know, maybe now's the time to work on this, so you're improving your overall raw speed and then taking it into your lengthening your stride, improving your force production, and taking it into a fall marathon if your marathon got moved to the fall. But getting back to the hills, okay, so today's a Tuesday. I had Monday recovery. Now Tuesday is my hard, short hill repeat day, force production. It's all about force production and strength, pure strength. So I'm keeping it under a minute. Then later this week, I will do either one of two things. I will do shorter, moderately hard intervals of maybe 3 to 5 minutes and slowly build that up throughout the summer. And or alternating weeks, I might do just a long, steady climb. So now this Thursday or Friday workout is becoming my strength endurance that complements what I'm doing today. And that strength endurance maybe is when you focus on working on your cadence or getting off your feet a lot quicker, because now you're not picking a really steep grade hill. It's a more runnable type of hill, and you can work on frequent fast cadence with your endurance, which is the other component of improving your ability to climb hills and mountains faster. Okay, so early in the week you work on the harder of the two workouts. Okay, so always, when in your week, always try to do the harder, the more difficult, more intense workout when you're a little fresh, and then later in the week do something just the opposite to complement this force production. You're doing something more endurance oriented. Okay, so that's the sequence that you want to kind of alternate throughout your weeks to improve your ability to run fast uphill. Okay, it's not good enough just to do long, steady work. That'll get you to a certain point, but you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're forced to really lengthen your stride. And that's what I'm doing today, is that with the grade and the short, very fast effort, I am really forced to provide force into the ground to lengthen my stride in the real world. Okay, so that's how you get faster on hills. So I'm headed home across the street and gonna do a nice about 30-minute cool down around the neighborhood flat trails and just kind of enjoy the nice sun. So we have a beautiful day here. It's about 65 degrees and May is coming in just beautiful. Hopefully it stays like this and it'll lengthen the summer. Whenever we get a good May, it always feels like summer is just a little bit longer. So, all right, thanks for watching as always, and let me know how the hills are coming. We'll see you next time. See ya.